Hello, welcome to Steve McDonald's Arts and Crafts, and today I'm going to be doing some jewellery. I've got these moulds, cabochon moulds, and what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to make some resin shapes in them and then turn them into jewellery, but it's going to be with something that's a little bit different. What I've already got here is I've already got 3 colours of resin that I've mixed up about 10 minutes ago. And I've got some red mica powder in there, some real quite deep red mica powder. I've got some gold glitter in this one, and I've got some white mica powder in this one. So I'm just going to use a combination of these 3 things. And what I'm doing is I'm allowing that to sit for about 15 minutes for my resin, the one that I'm using. I'm using dipoxy. And then I'm going to use that in some freshly mixed resin. I'm going to be applying this using some pipettes, which will be great because some of my subscribers said to me, what do I do with these pipettes? And I use them all the time. I'm always running out. And so they're really, really useful. Don't forget, if you want to see more videos like this, hit that subscribe button and that notification bell. Then you won't miss out on any of my future videos coming up. And please hit that like button, it really does make me smile and it helps my video to get out there. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to pop a little bit of the clear resin that I've got mixed up into one of the moulds. And then I'm going to take my pipette full of this, give it a clean because I don't want to drop it in the wrong places. And then just squeeze it in, this thicker stuff, into areas that I want it like that. And that's without knocking it over. And then I want to go in with another colour and do the same. And because this is thicker than the stuff that I'm squeezing it into, it should stay where I'm putting it. And I don't want it to fill right up to the top because I'm probably going to put a backing on this, depending. I might not, but depending what it looks like. So let's do a heart. And if you push the pipette into the resin before you squeeze it, then you get that nice dot. Or whatever shape you want. You don't have to have a dot. You can squeeze it into different shapes if you wish. I will also show you how to turn this into some really pretty jewellery at the end as well. But do wipe your pipettes every time you're about to use them as well. Let's pop a bit of red in there. I've got quite a lot of this left over that's thickened up really thick. So I thought what I'd do is I'd have a go and see what it looked like in a coaster. As I've got a bit left over, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put that into one of my homemade moulds. These have all cured now, and I'm really pleased with what they look like from this angle. As you can see, they've come out quite nice. But the truth is, when we take them out, so this is what I made with my leftover bits, and actually that's come out quite pretty. I'm going to do some sample bits of jewellery out of these anyway. This is the coaster I made. How easy that comes out of there. That's what makes a difference with a little bit of mould release in there. So the top bit, I'm quite pleased with. I should have let the clear resin thicken up a little bit more before I put this stuff in, but I didn't. But I really like how the bottoms come out. I think that's great. It's because you allow this resin to thicken up that it actually does stay quite in place where you want it, which I think can be quite easily seen from these bits. So I'm loving that side of it, and I think it does make a beautiful double-sided one. And if you want to magnify this a little bit more, I quite like it as it is, but if you wanted to, then all you need to do is dome that with a little bit of clear. So that one's come out well. Oh, I love that one. Oh, that has come out lovely. Oh, and so is that one. And they make great pieces of jewellery. Bit disappointed in the white one. There's not enough distinction. Perhaps we could have had more distinction in that. Oh, yeah, there we go. You see, that one makes a big difference. Where you've got the second colour and the second colour's come into it, I think that has come out really well. Didn't come out so well with the yellow. Oh, I love that. Look at that. Don't mind that one. That's quite pretty. Oh, I love that too. So I've chosen these ones to make up into jewellery, and it is going to be quite easy to do, and I'm going to be using some different things to actually make them up. So some of them I'm going to make up into these bezels, others I'm going to be using jump rings, and also I will be using these, which I can never remember what they're called. I always call them little pushy together things, and that's not their name. But I will put the link to everything that I use in the description for you as well, so you know exactly what they're called and how to find them easily. I'll also be using a little bit of 5-minute epoxy. So let's get going and put these together. So first off, I'm going to put together the square ones and the round ones. So I'm going to be using epoxy resin, 5-minute epoxy, for this, and it is really quite simple. All you need to do is squeeze out a little bit of equal measures of both. There we go. So that'll do, and it does as exactly as it says on the tin as well. It cures in 5 minutes and it cures brick hard. It does smell, so you want to make sure you're doing this in a well ventilated area. Just give it a quick going over like so. Make sure it's nicely mixed in together. Don't hang around too long. And then what I will do is I will pop some into the actual bezel middle like so. Spread it out a little bit. And I knew that these squares fit the bezel. And I want it to go up that way, so that's the bit that's going to go onto the top. If any squeezes out, just wipe it off. I use just a damp cloth. And I'm not getting this anywhere near my skin here either. There we go. So that's that one done. And exactly the same for the circle. Put those off to one side. And these two, what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill a little hole through them using my Dremel. I'm going to put a jump ring on this, and either a jump ring or one of those little pushy things together on this. Always wear a mask when you're drilling or sanding anything that's resin, because you don't want that to get into your lungs. And also, I always clear it up with a damp cloth. In this case, it's a baby wipe as well, because I don't want it floating around in my studio anywhere. I will do this one with a jump ring, but I ordered some of these really tiny pushy together things. I didn't realise how tiny they were when I ordered them, because I didn't look at the size, but I think they will probably fit on here. So let's have a go. I normally open these with my fingers and then push them together with my jewellery pliers. So let's have a look and see. Yeah, I think that will work. Yeah, it definitely does. And then I'll give it its final close with my jewellery pliers. And I do find that these are quite strong. They don't actually come apart very easily. And I'm going to use quite a large gold jump ring for this. Now, what I do sometimes do with the jump rings is I do put a tiny bit of glue on these to keep that nicely tightly fastened, and I usually use super glue. Now, you don't have to put glue on it, but I just think it gives it that little bit more security. So make sure the ends are nicely lined up like so. I will zoom into this, and then I'll just pop a dab of glue on there like so. It dries clear, so you're not going to see it, and that will give it just that little bit more security. And I'll just pop that to one side as well. So with these, I am going to use the larger pushy together things. And they work really, really well. I'll just close them up fully. So these are completely dry now, which is great. Now, I'm really into these cord necklaces at the moment. I don't know why. I've kind of think they're quite a bit more funky than the chain, but you can put the chain on no problem. And the great thing about these cord ones are they are really, really cheap to buy in bulk, and also they come pre-set up as well, so which makes life a lot easier. So for the red one here, I'm just going to put a red cord on it. I mean, you can put any colour cord on it you like. There we go. But I think that actually finishes that off quite nicely, that cord, especially with the silver. So I'll go ahead and I'll finish all these off, and then I'll show you what they look like made up. Hope you like these as much as I do. I think they've come out great now. They've got the jewellery findings and the cord on them. They really do look great. Also, check out my join button, which is next to the subscribe button, to become a member of this channel. It really does help support me, and you get some great perks in return. And if you'd just like to say thank you, I can't tell you how much it really helps me with my channel, check out the Buy Me a Coffee link in the description below. Thank you to all my current members. Names coming up now.